I think we should just have us talking about random stuff as the introduction.
So, welcome to the channel.
Welcome to the pod, as it were.
To the MDPEBBLE podcast.
Yeah. Our first one. Get a round of applause for our first one. So we're just going to be talking about some cool stuff that we think is cool that we want to talk about.
We decided we wanted to talk about some artists. So Pebble found an artist and I found an artist, and we're just going to talk about them and appreciate art, because art is great.
That is so true. Also, we don't know the artist that the other person has chosen, so it's going to be a very exciting surprise.
Now, the question is, who goes first? Do you want to go first?
I think you should go first.
Me? Oh dear. Okie dokie. So, ladies and gents, and Pebble, my artiste is called Minna Sundberg, and she's a Finnish illustrator. She's actually a professional illustrator, so she does it as not only as a hobby, she does it as her job as well, which is very cool, I think. I'm gonna send over some photos right now of the things she does. In my opinion, her artwork is very earthly in a way, if it makes sense. It gives foresty vibes.
Ooh, that is sick. So
I know, it's very pretty. It's very mystical at the same time, but eerie as well.
Why do they give me Minecraft vibes?
They do kind of give Minecraft vibes, don't they? Like a jungle biome. So if you look at the first one, when you first look at it, you think, oh, it's really pretty. But when you look at the bigger picture, you realise that there's like a creepy skull creature thing.
Snake thing is absolutely terrifying.
I know, it's very scary, and you don't realise these things until you actually properly look at the illustrations.
Looking at it closely, it reminds me quite a lot of Ghibli as well. I don't really know why.
I see it as well. And I just love her art style. Like, the people themselves, they're quite simplistic. If you look at the background, the detail is insane. I also really like the washed out effect, if it makes sense, because it gives like watercolor vibes, and I am a big fan of watercolor. I'm obsessed with watercolor.
I love the color schemes because a lot of them are really sort of blue. It's like, because they look quite calm, but then you look in the back and you realise there's like huge monsters and stuff. It's like a bit of a juxtaposition between like, oh, it's like a nice serene image, but then there's like, I don't even know what that is in the last one, big moose skeleton thing with a chest full of...
Gives Princess Mononoke vibes.
Chest full of bones. Oh my god.
That's it's cool. Really cool. Another cool thing about the illustrator herself, she does webcomics, so she's actually really successful.
Are these all like her characters then? Is this like a universe that she's created?
I don't know that yet. I'm gonna check out her webcomics though, because I do love webcomics. But I must admit that when you look at the illustration, it does set like a scene. It does show a story behind it. Like, you might not even know what the story of it is, but it is very cool. It's very illustrative. I mean, she is an illustrator, but you know what I mean. Another thing that I found out about her is that she finished an architectural college and university.
That's interesting. But she's gone from art to this.
And you can kind of see it, especially, you know, the bird one, where the girl is riding the bird. You can actually see some structure behind the bird, and you can see like buildings, which I think is pretty cool.
I like the one underneath that as well. It's like a little bit, oh my god, the little cat is so cute. looks like a village.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It does set a scene, and that's what I really love about it.
The colour scheme for that is so minimal because she's literally only just used like white and different shades of green and a tiny bit of yellow, and yet there's still so much depth to it. It's crazy.
I know the fact that she manages to create lighting and shade with like the minimal amount of colours is just amazing.
If I wrote a kids book, I'd want that as like the drawings for it because that's just so cool. I wonder how she found like that sort of style.
I'm sure that it's just years of work and practice, to be honest. Finding a style is something that's hard to find. A lot of people still say that they don't have an art style, even though another person might say, I do see an art style in your work. Art style is a very versatile thing. It's hard. Yes, carry on.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I suppose every time you do a new drawing, especially for me, I always do something different. It's like always changing. So I guess someone else could maybe look at my work and say, I see sort of the same things you're doing. But I always like try and experiment with new brushes every time, especially when I'm doing digital work. So
that's a good thing though. That's like a process of refinement, if you think about it. Because if you do not experiment, you won't find out what works for you and what doesn't.
That's a good point.
Like, me personally... Yeah?
No, you carry on. I don't know what point I was going to make there.
Like, me personally, I don't have an art style. I just try experiment with the brushes I've got. Sometimes I watch some tutorials to see how other people, for example, colour. Colouring things is very difficult for me. This is something I'm still trying to figure out using digital art.
Yeah, but it's funny because whenever I look at your work, I can see like a very like distinct style in it. And it's just really interesting that you don't, because I can always sort of pick out something that you've done.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how people see like one illustration differently. That's what I find really interesting about it.
I can tell that you're improving because every time you do something more, do something new, it's just like all the colours will be more refined, the way that you use the brushes will be more refined. Like you improve every single time you do something. And that's what they say about like practice being perfect. Because the amount of things that I've started and then just not finished because I've been like,
we all do that. We all do that.
When you've got a really good, like, oh my god, this scene would be so fantastic if there's like a castle with 7 dragons in the background, and then it's just bad.
Yeah.
When you're drawing it.
People say trust the process, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. I get that all the time.
The process is not trusting itself.
Yeah. Like, you have these ideas, and it's just hard to express it on paper. But that's another good thing about art. We do have the power to create things that don't exist in reality. I think that's another wonderful thing about art.
Like her. Like she's done.
Yeah, literally. Like, we don't have big snaky skeleton things under rivers.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean.
That's very true.
that could be what is at the bottom of the ocean and we just don't know it.
Yeah, back to her artwork though. We went a bit off topic, but that's fine.
That's the whole fun of it. That's the fun.
That's true. It's just... When I saw her artwork online, on Instagram, I was like, yes, I have to talk about her.
Did you search for anything specific to find it, or did you just come up and...
To actually find her, what I did was... I searched a variety of things. So at first I was like, oh, let's do some animator. Like, let's talk about an animator. But then I changed my mind, maybe an illustrator. And I was just searching for a list of artists. and I found some, and it showed me a link to Instagram, and of course I have Instagram, so talking about Instagram, you should check out our Instagram account.
Shameless stuff.
So yeah, I found her Instagram and I was like, wow, I really do love her artwork. It gives such a vibe. I can't really describe the vibe. I'd say earthly.
Yeah.
But then again, it's very mystical.
Do you ever go on Instagram and you just like put in a random keyword and an artist or something and then just scroll through everything? Because I do that like all the time. Like,
I do that as well.
It's so interesting to see, like, so you could type in like dragon art or something, I don't know, and just the amount of different stuff that's out there is so cool. I found so many artists. Like I was looking at frog art the other day, and I found this like cartoon guy who does this cartoon of a frog called Freg, and it's just so cute. I was going to talk about him, but then I thought it's a bit too like funny. Oh god,
yeah, another thing, stuff like Pinterest, the stuff that we can access these days.
Oh, I get so lost on Pinterest for hours scrolling through.
I know, you get mesmerised.
Especially tattoo design. The amount of tattoos I've pinned on my board on Pinterest.
I agree on that.
Ridiculous. But like, I'll see something and I'll think, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, I've never thought to draw something like that, and then it will make me think of something that like I could do, even though I'm not that skilled at like illustrating and stuff already.
But still, admiring their work, it also gives you ideas.
That's the great thing about the internet. You can just get so many ideas from just looking at stuff.
Even though if it doesn't look the same, I mean, it doesn't even have to. It's just you're stuck in a world of your own. You have all these ideas. You come up with these ideas. As long as you have the motivation, you can create whatever you want.
The thing is, like, it doesn't even have to be like looking at one big image. Say like you wanted to draw a specific scene or something, and you type in what you're looking for, and you're like, oh, I'm not really sure about any of the examples that I found, and then you could see like the way that they've drawn a tree in the background or something, and then from that you could suddenly think, oh, I could start drawing landscapes like this, and then all of a sudden you're doing like a completely different idea. It's so good for like just developing different things to think about. Quite often I get stuck. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to draw this, and this first idea is the final idea. And I can't draw anything else. It's got to be this one specific thing. And then I think, actually no, because this idea that I've just thought of, I'm looking at a picture of a cat on Instagram. It's way much better.
You see, saying that it has to be a specific thing that you originally planned, that's a thing that usually leads to art block, I think.
That is
because you start believing it has to look this certain way instead of just doing something that you really enjoy.
Like, if you're, say you draw in like an anime style on Instagram, all your followers will expect the same thing from you every single time. Because Instagram is such a toxic place for artists, because they're like, oh, I did this new experiment, and people will be like, oh, I don't like it, go back to your original stuff.
That's true, yeah, a lot of people do that.
The whole point of art is about exploration. Like, you can't expect people to draw the same thing for the rest of their life. Like,
that's very true.
Take Picasso, for example. The amount of different types of art he did across his career is immense, and it's just like, you can't limit yourself. An artist can't limit themselves to one single type of drawing, because they're just going to get sad. I know I would get sad if we were in an art lesson and they were like, oh, just draw this apple every single lesson.
Just draw this apple.
I'd get prepared. I'd be like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah. I think that, let's say you're working too long on this one drawing because you're too keen that it has to look a specific way. Take a day off, leave the drawing alone, and then come back to it, you know?
Yeah.
That's another good thing about it, because...
Or just never look at it again, start 8 new drawings, get bored of those ones.
It sounds like you're calling me out.
Oh, don't worry, I'm calling myself out as well. I think every artist is guilty of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a perfectionist and it just doesn't go right. I'm fed up of this because it's not perfect first try. And it's like, I only properly started doing digital art like earlier this year. So I
only started last year in March.
I can't expect myself to be perfect at everything. Like, all the people are like, oh, you should do this for certain colours, and I'm like, I just want to have some fun with it, you know?
Plus, we have time. I mean, there's no rush. I mean, it's probably different for people who do it as a career. They have deadlines.
I was just about to say, I think art is a lot more enjoyable if you're doing it for yourself. I'm not saying that people who do commissions aren't happy, but...
Because I am sure that there are people who do enjoy their job. There are people who do find the happiness within the job.
Having an idea and then sitting down and just taking as much time as you want to execute it and just adding all the little tweaks and touches. There's something so like satisfying and enjoyable about it. Honestly, love it.
Yeah, doing it as a career is a bit different, I think. But it doesn't have to be different for everyone. Personally, I think I already told you before how much I hate doing art as a subject. But I love doing it in my spare time. Like, it's not that I have anything against the lessons that we have, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, I wish I did something different, but it's not always fitting for what you're doing as a project, if it makes sense.
That's the problem with school, obviously, because you've got an exam brief to fill. Sometimes you're like, you know what, I just really want to draw like an anime girl.
Yeah, something random for once.
A cute little dress on. But no, I've got to look at the effects of mental health on the youth and blah blah blah, because that's what I've chosen for my exam theme.
Yeah, some schools are very strict about what you actually can do in these art lessons.
I think with us we're quite lucky because we do have quite a lot of freedom.
That's true. I mean, we do have a lot of accessible things as well that we can use. Like we do have a photocopier that we can use for free.
Oh, love the photocopier. It's my favourite thing.
I think it's something everybody uses.
I love it. It's just when someone's like, I don't know what I should do with this, everyone's just like, just go photocopy it and draw it, or just... It looks
just
like
do anything.
It makes it look like you've done so much more than you actually have. It's great.
It's a lifesaver. The amount of things I've just photocopied in my course is just crazy.
And the amount of times I've seen the words tone low on the computer screen.
Which I feel really bad because I go get the teacher and then she's like, again? And she was like, I only did it last week. And I'm like, I'm sorry, miss.
Shouldn't have let us have access to it then. Not my problem.
That's true.
You want to see my artist as well? The fact we haven't even got onto it yet. We've just been having a chat.
Yeah, let's go to your artist.
Should I send you a link to her website? I feel like that would be easier if you can look at it yourself.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a link in the description if you want to check out these artists, if you're very interested in following them and supporting them.
Which you should, because artists should support artists.
Yes. Getting to know a variety of artists is a good thing. And we do love spreading artist love.
Yes, we do. That is a good thing.
Okay, so her name is Sveta.
You can say it a lot better than me.
So what can you say about her? What do you like about her the most?
So I was looking through her website. I mean, I already thought her work was really cool because I love like fantasy and myths and fairy tales and stuff like that. That's what she loves.
Oh, she does a lot of ink work.
Yeah, I think because when I typed in illustrators on Google, it was like a black and white portrait that was behind her name, and I was just for some reason I love black and white like pen art. I love it so much. Any kind of pen, biro,
Pen work, yeah, pen work is really pretty.
thickening, anything like that. But then I was scrolling through her website, and she did some artwork for one of Halsey's last albums, which I remember seeing when the album came out, but obviously I didn't really think to look into who the artist was behind it. But it was like a set of tarot cards.
Oh, tarot cards.
Yeah.
These became a trend recently, actually, I think. I've seen them all over Instagram.
I think in quarantine, a lot of people have been looking at like Wicca and other religions and stuff like that. A lot. That's probably why I've been seeing them trending. I just think it's so cool. Like, if you actually look really closely at her work, the amount of like detail is insane. Like, there's so many tiny little lines, and I just admire anyone who has the patience to do things like this, because I do not. I cannot sit there and look at the same drawing for like weeks on end. And draw like the smallest little lines of shading. If I can't do it in like under an hour, it's not worth it.
You see, well, that's where probably some people will actually disagree with you, because I'm sure some people love spending hours on something.
Yeah, that's just the thing. Everyone's process is different, because she talks about her process on the website, and she says that she used to work in advertising, so. She used to be a creative director, and she writes down every single idea she has for an illustration.
Yeah, I respect that.
I should start doing that. The amount of ideas I have, I'm like, oh, that would be so good, and then I forget it like the next hour, and then I remember that I had a really good idea, but I can't remember what the idea was.
Yeah, I get frustrated when I do that. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. And then I actually go find my graphic tablet pen, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember what I wanted to do.
It's so sad.
I know, it's a bit depressing, but we cope with it.
That's just life, though, isn't it?
That's true. The amount of artists that have problems, like losing a graphic pen, that's a problem everybody has.
Oh, I thought you meant problems like Van Gogh when he got depressed and cut his ear off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're about to get really deep here, but then you were like, oh, lose my graphic pen.
Oh, that's so funny.
Whoops.
Well, it's fine to interpret things differently. That's funny.
All artistic interpretation is different.
Yes. That's so funny.
Oh, I can't believe I thought that. I'm so dumb.
My way of thinking isn't that complex.
I think too deep. I remember Art Zone.
We love being in an art zone. Back to the artists. I just saw one of the coloured pieces where she's drawing the circular pictures, like little illustrations. I don't know if you know which one I'm on about.
Oh my god, there's one with a tortoise in it.
There is? Send it over.
Screenshot for you. Do you hear that little noise my computer made just then?
Yes, I did.
Oh gosh. Terribly sorry.
Don't worry about it.
There we go. I think it's sending to the chat now.
Okie dokie. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty.
No, but actually look at the amount of detail.
It's
Mental.
insane.
Oh, I love the little stingrays at the bottom. They're so cute.
There's a little swordfish as well. That's so cute. Yeah, the amount of detail put into that is insane.
I can't imagine coming up with an idea and conceptualizing it, and it's like something like that that's got so many elements about it. I don't have the brain capacity for that. Because I don't work in detail, I work in form. I think that's why I like sculpture more, because I can just sort of look at something and be like, oh yeah, it needs a blob here and a blob there, and then it will be good.
True. Every artist does work differently in the end.
Because I was
we have our likes and dislikes.
Yes, we do. Talking of that, I was originally looking at an abstract artist, and then I changed my mind because I was like, I know that you don't vibe particularly.
Stop calling me out. Yeah, just in case nobody knew, my one medium I am the least fond of is abstract.
I'm not saying that she hates abstract art, she just doesn't like to work with it because it's not...
Yes, I do appreciate abstract art, I really do, but it's not something that I physically want to do. I've tried convincing myself to it, but it's just not my forte.
And that's fine, because you have strength in other areas.
That's
all
true.
art is valid.
On the other hand, Pebble is she's like really good with abstract, especially sculpture.
We love a good bit of sculpture. Maybe we should take some pictures of our art in, or do we want to expose ourselves?
No, we can.
Imagine if we do and then we get like actual art people in the comments being like, this is rubbish.
Well, we're just gonna have to deal with it and be happy about it, be optimistic, because we love art anyway. Yeah, we can showcase our stuff. Yeah?
What?
We can showcase our stuff.
Yes, we can. Be careful.
Yeah, I was about to jump off.
There's a village over here, I'm building to it. That's why I'm... This is going to be a very long bridge. I think I underestimated how long the bridge is going to be. Probably would have been quicker to just walk there. Oh well.
I love the fact that we both chose illustrators.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, that's crazy.
I really didn't know what you would go for.
Yeah, I really didn't know either. It was a spontaneous thing.
I was thinking, do we set a thing, like maybe, say today is like the illustrators, and then the next one we could both look at a certain type of art, or we could just go with whatever. I don't really know. That's the good thing about the podcast. You can do whatever you want. It's fabulous.
That's true. We can make it thematic, like... Oh, I keep hurting myself on the game. Like, let's maybe set a theme. Like, so we did illustrators. We can do abstract artists next time.
Oh, you're gonna be so happy about that.
No, I actually don't mind talking about abstract artists. As long as I'm not doing abstract, it's fine. But I feel like the ones that I would talk about, you'd already know them.
Write in the comments what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, like what topics you want to talk about. It doesn't even have to be artists, it can just be general stuff.
What can I talk about? RuPaul's Drag Race. If you want me to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race...
No. This is one thing we shall not talk about.
We should do a Ghibli episode.
A Ghibli episode, like favourite movies and things.
Just talk about Ghibli in general.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I love Totoro because he's really cute. There we go. That's my contribution.
Totoro is cute though, and it's little friends, little spirits. They're so cute.
The mini Totoros.
Remember when I used to call the soot sprite suits? I literally thought it was pronounced as suits. Because it's double O, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't pronounce foot.
Yep, but...
It's okay. We still love you. You're smart because you can speak 2 languages.
Oh, that's fair, but I'm still dumb.
That's a fat mood.
That's okay, we are still learning. We aren't old yet.
I'm just going to put it down to the fact that we haven't been at school properly for like the last ages, so...
That's true, we can't function properly.
I'm slowly losing all my brain cells.
It's okay, this is a time where we vibe. This is the aim of the podcast, to have fun, to chill. I've got my tea right next to me.
I don't have a cup of tea, but I do have a nearly empty glass of water because it's important to stay hydrated, everybody.
Yes, another thing, guys, make sure to drink water and stay safe.
Wear your mask, drink water. That's my only advice.
Sanitize.
Don't go to parties because that's really stupid.
Yeah, don't party.
Mr. Bojo will give you a big fat fine if you do.
But what if they don't live in the UK?
Then look at your government's restrictions because I don't know anything about anyone else.
That's fair. I can't stop looking at the tortoise drawing. I love it.
We do
I'm
love
just
it.
obsessed with tortoises.
Put a picture of Squirtle.
Oh yeah, guys, I have a little pet tortoise. Her name's Squirtle, and she's very cute. She's an extremely messy eater. Like a very messy eater. I've never seen an animal that's so messy. Like you'd expect, oh yeah, let's get a tortoise, low maintenance and stuff. No, they are so messy.
But maybe it's just her.
Could be just her. Basically what she likes to do is take out her food out of the bowl, leave it everywhere, move it from one side of her little terrarium to the other, and then sit in the bowl. And I'm like, why?
I was going to ask a question.
Yes, what's your question?
I'm thinking of it. Oh god. This is a bit
Art related or Squirtle related?
Oh, Squirtle. Oh yeah, I remember. You know how dogs have like dog ears? Tortoises have tortoise ears? Or is that not valid because they live like to be really old?
Wait, say that again.
You know how dogs, like, they say that one human year is 7 dog years, right?
Yeah.
So is it like the tortoises have that as well? Or not?
I don't know. All I know is that different types of tortoises live a different amount of years. For example, the tortoise I have right now, Squirtle is a Horsefield tortoise. She's a smaller kind of tortoise. The biggest she'll grow is 90 centimeters, so it isn't even that big for a tortoise. And she will live around 80 years. That's a predicted age.
I'd be a little old lady.
I know, I'll be an old hag with my little tortoise.
Us in the care home together with Squirtle.
That would be adorable. Or I could give it to my kids if I have kids. Who knows? Maybe not. Recently I'm scared of kids.
That's a move.
I'm a child lover, but sometimes they're terrifying.
They're always terrifying. I don't know.
Or maybe I'm just delusional thinking that I like kids because my whole family has children.
I love how you're just telling everyone about the intimate details.
I'm going off topic, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. We welcome it. Love it.
I just love talking about everything.
bridge is so long. I'm not even anywhere near done. See, your point of view is probably going to be much more interesting than mine because I've literally been building this bridge the whole time.
Not really. I've been just jumping around, pretending to do parkour.
Oh, I love that.
Literally all I've been doing is I sheared some sheep, jumped around, collected some stuff. I'd go to the Nether, but I'm scared.
I went back to our base earlier and I got some diamonds, but I didn't have an iron pickaxe, so I literally spent about half an hour trying to find an iron pickaxe, and I died in lava. And then the server glitched, and I was literally breaking this block of iron, and it just wouldn't break. I disconnected twice, it still wouldn't break. And then I went back to our house, and I could finally break it there, and I was like, Jesus Christ. A bit ridiculous, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you said that you only got into digital art this year. What inspired you to do digital art?
I don't really know. Because I remember, what year was it? We were in computer science lesson, and it was like the end of term. You know, if you're from the UK, you know that like lesson near the end of term, you always just like piss about doing something fun. So the teacher got out some Wacom drawing tablets.
Oh, that was really fun.
Just draw something. I remember me and MDP, we both drew sands and papyrus.
We don't talk about that.
We were in our Undertale phase back then. It was a very tragic time.
I still have my Temmie plushie.
I think I've still got the drawing of papyrus somewhere.
I think I trashed my sans one. But I'm not surprised.
That is so sad.
I think that's what drove me to digital art as well. I mean, I did engage in a little bit in digital art beforehand. Like, I used to draw with my mouse until I saw the graphic tablet and I was like, I want one, you know? And I invested in one.
Yeah. Because I remember going to Comic-Con and there was that stand with all the drawing tablets on it. I think we accidentally deleted some drawing, didn't we? Or we thought we did. Yeah. We didn't know what we were doing. But I remember looking at them and I was like, these are so cool. Back then, I wasn't really passionate enough about it to...
Comic-Con was really fun. The showcase of the graphic tablets was insane.
MDP had a little tiny Wacom tablet for a while, and then she got a big fancy one. I don't know what it is, but it's big and fancy. So she
it's a Wacom one as well.
She very kindly gave me her little Wacom one. And it's just fun, and I also like the fact that you can delete stuff if it's not good, because you can't do that on a physical drawing. The amount of times I'll redraw one line because it looks bad, I'm like, no, I don't like it.
What's good about a graphic tablet? You don't waste paper.
Yeah, save the environment, guys. Buy a graphics tablet.
Waste money instead. I mean, then again... Yeah?
I love the art community of people that just genuinely want to support each other.
I know. This year especially, we met some people in the art community and they're so kind. There's so many kind people out there. And you get to admire their work as well. And it just amazes you. You're like, wow.
The amount of people in the world who are just genuinely so talented. It's like, I just want everyone to be famous. Like, I want everyone to...
Yes, everyone deserves love. Especially when you're friends with someone who's a really good artist, you know? I have so many friends that are so good at art. I even have artist envy because of them. But they don't actually have that much attention on social media. And I think it's a shame because they really do deserve it.
It's very sad.
So I'm still hoping that they're going to be able to get the attention they deserve because they really do deserve it.
They deserve it, but there's just so much out there, and especially with like the algorithms and stuff on Instagram. It's so hard.
Algorithms are a pain.
It's so hard to like actually just get yourself out there because it's like, nope, you didn't post every single day for 5 months straight. Well, we're not going to show anyone your art anymore because you suck.
I think we've both had the same issue. Like, I think you started a photography account on Twitter. Getting attention on Twitter is really difficult.
Twitter is the absolute worst. I can't deal with Twitter.
Yeah, it is difficult, but everyone will get there sometime. I'm still hoping, especially those friends that I have. I'm still
Yeah, but
keeping
think this way, you're literally, so what, you said you started doing digital art last March. There's so much pressure on people as well, I think, to like get famous with their art. It's like, no, some people just want to like, oh yeah, I did this drawing, here you go. But the few people that might want to look at it, like, not everyone, a lot of people do, but not everyone wants to be a professional artist. Because I know for a lot of people, oh, is that the music box? I know a lot of people would get stressed if they had to draw every single day. Like, I know I would. I'd hate art. I'd just cry all the time.
And yet you're taking art as a university course. You're gonna have to do art every day, my dear.
I'm just not going to say anything about that.
I called you out on that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I take that back. So yeah.
It does apply to me though, don't worry, it applies to me though. Because I am doing actually something completely different to art at university. But I'm still gonna take it. I'm still gonna do it as a hobby.
We're still going to have the pod. We can be like,
Yes! We're still gonna be here. And I can chat about everything and all sorts of things.
Oh,
yes?
we should do an episode about advice on applying to uni since we're professionals now.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I'll be like, hey guys, here's how you make a portfolio.
I mean, you could. I'm blue about it. You can teach me.
So much bamboo everywhere. Oh. Crazy, man.
I think school and uni applications is something very stressful for everyone globally because of the pandemic, everything has gone downhill. Nothing's the way we planned. We would have been having preparations for our mocks right now, which are cancelled for now.
Thanks for that one, Bojo.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, everything's gone downhill. Nothing's the way anyone planned it. No one was prepared for it. But we have to stay strong. Stay safe. Everybody stay safe.
I feel like the second time we said that.
I know.
Just lock yourself in your house for the next 3 years and never go outside.
Oh, that would be terrifying. That would be scary.
You know District 13 in the Hunger Games? Be like them. Just hide underground.
Don't encourage people to do.
Oh God, everyone become hobbits and live in little hobbit houses.
Oh, that would be cute. I prefer that concept.
Insert MDP's shrewdest drawing here.
No.
Yes, it's so cute.
I'm not very fond of it.
And so was the guy that made it his wallpaper on his computer.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I really need a drink. Stay hydrated. I'm like,
Yes,
so
stay hydrated.
I'm really thirsty right now. We've talked about everything today, haven't we?
Yeah, I think that's
Have fun
a pretty
editing it.
solid.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty solid for a first podcast, I think.
See, I like it. It's just a chat, you know? Like, you can just sit down.
It's very comfortable, and that's, I think, something we want to do. We want to make it comfortable. We want to make it relaxing for everyone.
In this time, when everyone's at home, we can be like your friends. If you're doing the dishes, put the podcast on in the background. If you do, I don't know, what do people do? Apart from play Minecraft.
Play Minecraft with us.
Play Minecraft with us.
It's just, if
We
you
should
need
make
something
our
to
own
listen to.
Minecraft server.
Oh, we could create a server.
How on earth do we do that? I have no idea.
I'll try figure it out. Don't worry about it.
We want to be a nice little happy
Community.
space for people who like art and other stuff.
Hmm.
You know, it's fun. It's all for fun. And then when we go to uni and I'll be far away from her, I can bug her and be like, hey, we have to do the pod, so you better talk to me. And she'll be like, oh god, okay.
Oh god.
Please leave me alone. You're really weird. I don't want to be friends with you.
I wouldn't ever say that. Oh, that is a lot of bamboo.
I know, it's crazy.
No, I wouldn't ever say that because I love you very dearly.
I've run out of wood. I mean, I've got some birch. I'll just use them. I still have so far to go though. Oh god.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our very first podcast. All the links will be in the description. It would be nice if you could leave a comment on what you would like us to talk about, because
we will literally talk about anything. Except like maybe politics, because I'm very bored of that.
Oh yeah. I don't want to talk about politics either. We keep talking about it in sociology. I am sick of it.
No thank you, man.
Yeah, but any art related stuff can be actually general life stuff as well. If you want to chat about that, we are open about this. We are very open, I think. We try not to be biased or too opinionated, but
yeah, non-judgmental.
Yeah, leave a like if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. But it would be appreciated. I'm just too cheesy, aren't I?
Like and subscribe, guys.
Like and subscribe, teehee.
Well, that's so embarrassing.
I'm sorry. I'll stop now. Well, thank you guys.
Bye. But it all